I think the biggest difference about this spring is just not seeing the fans out there. That's just something that excites us. It's something that we look forward to, and something that gives us that spark that we need, to start off a season. And not seeing them, we have to find ways to create our own energy, our own life, and I think this group is doing a good job at that. But I'm just happy that we're back out here playing baseball. I'm happy that we're just doing the things that we love to do, and I'm like a little kid in a candy store out there.
What about for you personally, though? I mean, obviously the year prior dealt with some injuries. It was more in a bench role. You played well, but last year was that true breakout year. Did it feel any different? Did it feel like, this offseason, maybe this spring you have less to prove and maybe can work specifically on certain things, or did it feel relatively normal?
Um, I think every year you can improve on things, and that's what I take into every off season. I normally take a couple days, a couple weeks to really reflect on how I did in the year. And yes, I did play well, but we didn't get to our ultimate point. I mean, we were 3 games out in the last series, and if we would have swept the Nationals, we would have been in the playoffs. So, I know that I ran into the wall, missed that ball, and that's a big play that potentially cost us our season. So that's some of the things that I took into the off season, and things that I know that I wanted to improve on. And as a team, we're a very hungry team, and we're never satisfied. So I wanted to just get better in all facets of the game. Outfield, obviously be more athletic. I want to take the extra base this year. I want to run a little bit more on a basis. So it's just always things that you can improve on to help the team get better, and that's something that I focused on. And I feel like I just worked extremely hard, like I do every year. And I don't really dwell on things. I don't dwell. That stuff is in the past. We have a new year here, 2021, and I've been in the big league since 2017, and we haven't been to the playoffs. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm very hungry. I'm very focused, and I won't be happy and satisfied until we're walking away with that World Series win.
Thanks.
Next question is from Wayne Randazzo.
Hey, Dom, a couple questions related to your little chat with Barry Bonds the other day. Someone posted a video of you side by side swinging and with Barry, and there were some similarities in the swing. Is that something you've chased to make your swing more similar to his, or does that just kind of happen?
It's funny because I really didn't notice the similarities until the side by side that night, or the next day actually when I saw it. The last couple of years, I've been doing a little research and been hitting with guys, and I saw an interview with Christian Yelich, and he talked about how when Barry was with the Marlins, he put him through some pretty interesting drills. And one of the drills were chopping the ball off a home plate, and really feeling yourself working down and through the baseball and creating that backspin. And just that drill and a couple other drills I've taken from him and worked on it throughout the year. And I mean, the side by side comparisons they're pretty good. And it's just something I want to keep improving on my swing. I know it's not the best swing. I know I have holes, every hitter does, but it's just something that shows that I am working in the right direction, and just something I want to keep improving on, like I said. And I was shocked. I was very shocked, the similarities, but it's pretty cool to see him.
He was also a really good left fielder, a Gold Glover at that position. Have you been able to maybe watch some videos of him playing left field, or pick his brain in any way about how he played that position to improve yourself?
Yeah, I mean, he was a great defender. Like you said, Gold Glover. And one of his mottos is, if I'm not getting no hits, nobody's getting any hits today. So that's just something that you have to take pride in, and you have to really, really focus. We haven't sat down and talked about how to cover ground and do certain things, or how to set yourself up to make yourself a plus defender out there. But I think the big thing I took away from him was his mindset, his mentality, and you got to work. And I put in a ton of work out there, and I don't think that I'm going to be a poor left fielder. I don't. I know that I have good enough hands. It's just about getting them in game reps, and I feel comfortable out there. So I'm excited to see how I do out there.
Thanks, Dom.
Next question is from Mike Puma.
Hey Dom, I saw you wearing I think it's a catapult vest you were wearing in the workouts yesterday. I'm just wondering what kind of metrics you're looking to get from there and how you apply them.
That's just used to keep up with our load, monitor, our heart rate, and just make sure that we're not spiking too high, and then we're just doing too much to where we eventually, cause injury. The last couple years, as you guys know, I dealt with my stress fracture, and then a couple years ago, I had the pull quad in spring training. So we're just trying to, be ahead of the game, and a lot of things. A lot of injuries come from overuse and fatigue, and they just want to, and we want to just stay on top of that and make sure that I'm not getting overused out there. That every day I'm gradually increasing my volume instead of, like I said, spiking too high and then doing too much. So that's what the catapult is designed for.
And also, as of right now, there's no DH. Pitchers are going to hit this year, and it seems like the Mets are one of the teams hurt the most by the lack of the DH. Are you hoping it ultimately goes that way to give you guys some more flexibility?
I mean, if you look at this roster, I don't think we're hurting, at all in any department. We have a deep roster, from our big league roster to the guys who are non-roster invitees. And we didn't deal with a DH, in 2019. So we play without a DH. We know how to prepare and be ready to play every day. And that's what happens in a National League ballpark, a National League game. Sometimes you could be called in the first inning. It's a lot of double switches that go on. It's a lot of strategy that goes on in the NL game. So, I'm not worried about if we have a DH or if we don't. I think the DH would be just good for off days. Like, that's my only thing I think is good for. But the Mets are going to be a good team with or without the DH, and that's something that we don't care if we have it or not.
Next question is from Bruce Beck.
Hey, Dom, if you're walking down the street and someone comes up to you and says, hey, are you a first baseman or a left fielder? What do you say?
So I'm a ball player. I'm a versatile ball player that's going to help you win games. If I'm in the lineup, I don't care where I play. Like I said, I take pride in defense. Obviously, my left field play hasn't been great, but people, forget that, I got thrown in left field in the big leagues, which is the highest level of baseball, the hardest level. I didn't realize how hard guys hit the ball until I started playing outfield in the big league. So it's a learning curve. It's a learning process. And I feel like, I'm taking that challenge and I'm getting better and better at it. And like I said, I'm getting comfortable out there, and I know that I could do it. I know I could play left field, right field. I'm competitive, and I believe in my ability.
Dom, do you think your power numbers will continue to improve?
I didn't see. Who'd that come from? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
It was just a follow-up. I
Yes.
looked at your numbers. Do you think that your power numbers and your power in general will continue to evolve?
Yes, of course. I haven't played a full year in the big leagues, but in my stints the last couple of years, I showed that I have power. I know I have power. I know I can hit 25 plus, 30 plus bombs. So that's something that I don't really think about. The home runs are going to come. As long as I'm squaring up the baseball, hitting the ball hard, using the whole field, I know I'm going to hit a lot of home runs. So at the end of the day, one thing that Barry told me and that I saw, especially like in his documentaries and when watching a bunch of his interviews, is when he was chasing the home run record, he didn't care about hitting home runs. He was talking about, man, I'm hitting 240. Like, I want to get a couple hits tonight. I want to hit the ball hard. And good swings and just good approaches, if you have that, balls, base hits, singles, doubles, they turn into home runs. And that's just something I'm trying to do every time I'm at the plate. Put a good swing on the ball. And if I do that, it's going to leave the ballpark.
Next question is from James Wagner.
Dom, how's it going? Good to see you. It's been a minute. Just wanted to ask you two quick questions. One is firstly, what have you missed most about, say, like normal baseball? And not to like lead you in any direction, but was it fans, like sounds? I'm just curious of what you missed most last year. I
I mean, I want to say this is normal baseball. I mean, every time you get to go out on this beautiful diamond and play the sport you love, I mean, it's still baseball. It's normal baseball. I think the thing that we miss most is obviously the fans. You know, you guys know in 2019 how critical they were to us, and I've had people from the front office come up to me and describe that season as just as big as the 2015 season when we went to the World Series. That energy that was in the ballpark, the way the fans really carried us to the finish line that year. They said it was equivalent or maybe even better in 2019. So I think that's something that being a New York Met and knowing that we have the best fan in the world, we really miss dearly, and something that we can't wait to put on a show in front of them. So I just can't wait to see their faces out there and hear them cheer for us, and hit some balls in the seats and watch them jump and fight for it.
And the second one, thank you, is just how much video do you use in game, and are you happy that it's back because you could not get to do that last year? Do you think that will make a difference? Are you happy to see it? Sure.
Yeah, it sucked. But that's just a game of adjustments. I mean, that's how life is. It's not fair. It's not easy. And you just have to adjust and keep it going and find ways to be effective and productive, without, getting your way all the time. And that's something that I'm super happy about, because a lot of times guys just want to go see video to see, how did they miss a pitch or why did they miss a pitch. It's not all the times about, trying to steal, I don't know, steal pitches or locations or whatever. I mean, for me, I use it to see, my swing, to see how I missed the pitch. And sometimes on umpires, see if it was a borderline pitch that's a strike on me, see if I should chase or if I should lay off of it, or if I made the good decision by taking it. I think a lot of that is good for the mental side of the game, because it just helps you just be more at ease and more confident and comfortable with your thought process. And I think that's going to be good for especially our team, but also the game of baseball.
Next question is from Tim Healy.
Hey, Dom. I know the COVID restrictions were pretty severe in California over the off season. What were you able to do workouts-wise, and especially defensive work-wise?
Oh, yeah, I was able to get out to a facility called A2D Sports. That facility, they have physical therapy, so they were obviously cleared by California to stay open during the quarantine. And I was able to do all my workouts. They have 5 or 6 beautiful cages, high netting, and Rapsodo machines in there, TrackMan machines, hit tracks. So I was able to get some good work in there. I was able to hit, take ground balls, fly balls, and do everything I needed to get ready for the season.
And as far as continuing to improve in left, you mentioned that nothing, the best thing that helps is in-game reps. So
Exactly.
Over the off-season, over these early days of spring training where it's just drills, no games, what can make a difference in improving your ability out there?
I think live jumps in BP. Batting practice is probably like the best thing you could do as an outfielder to simulate, game-like reads and get the best jumps. Coaches are grooving the ball in there pretty slow, and guys are hitting it really hard. So the fact that you could get those, reads, see how the ball's spinning, if it's top spinning, if guys are staying through pitches, I think that's the best way you can simulate in-game reps. And then you take that, what you do in batting practice, and, take it to the game and try to show them what you could do.
And did you say you worked specifically on agility or quickness this
Of
offseason?
course. I mean, you have to work on, just becoming a better athlete as a whole. And that's something that, I really want to do. I really want to take bags. I really want to show the world that I'm an athletic player. And like I said, from the time I made my debut in 2017 and 2018 and I lost all that weight, I mean, I said it to you guys, the best players in this game, they're some of the most athletic players in the game. And if you can become more athletic, it's just going to help out your overall game. So that's something that I take pride in and I work on. Even here, I'm here early, I'm stretching, I'm moving around, I'm working on my agility, I'm working on my speed, I'm working on the way I can improve my route running. So it's always an ongoing process that never ends. And it's something that, like I said, for the rest of my career, I will continuously work on.
Thank you.
Next question is from Tony DeComo.
Hey, Dom, good to see you. What you just said actually leads well into what I wanted to ask, which is we've seen you improve your athleticism quite a bit over the years. The defensive numbers kind of show that you've improved, and you haven't spent all that much time out there, relatively speaking. Just kind of given all that, do you think it's fair that there's this skepticism, like, can Dom Smith play left field? And why or why not?
It just comes with the territory. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's fair or not. I'm a professional ball player, and I'm here. I'm getting paid to play at the highest level and perform at the highest level. So that's just how I take it every day, and that's how I treat it. And I know personally I haven't played a lot out there, and so I know that I'm way more capable than what I've shown. And it just takes time. It takes a little bit of reps, and I'm just excited because, like you said, I haven't played much out there. So when I do get more opportunity, more reps, and start making more plays, then I guess that skepticism will kind of dissolve. So I'm just excited that I'm here. I'm excited that we have a great team. And like I said, I know what I'm capable of doing. It's just a matter of me showing.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Dom, good to see you. You were talking about before with Barry about approach. I just wonder what the biggest takeaways from him were for you, both offensively and defensively.
I think the biggest takeaway I could take is his personality, just how down to earth he was, how just humble he was, and the knowledge of the game. A mind like that should be in baseball somewhere at some capacity. That's somebody that I would love to talk to on an everyday basis, whether it be about approach, whether it be about swing. And he's just a great baseball mind. Defensively, offensively, we didn't talk much about, swing. He said he saw my swing, and he broke my swing down, told me to keep my hands higher and, work down through the ball. Like I said, I'm getting this number, so we're going to definitely talk more throughout the season about my swing and approach. But, I mean, that mind was just phenomenal. It was more than I can ever ask for, and I was like in a dream. I was in all the whole conversation, and I mean, he's a great person. It was a great conversation. I wish we could have talked longer. I mean, he didn't want to stop talking. He was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next question is from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Dom. Good to see you again. What happened for you last year didn't happen overnight, obviously. You had to get through a lot. You had a lot of injuries early on. You had to kind of fight for them to give you a chance in the outfield. How hard was it mentally to reach this point? I mean, you seem like you're in a really good spot as far as confidence-wise, what you can bring to the team, and even talking to the team as being kind of more of a leader.
Yeah, that's a really good question. It was tough. I mean, nothing's easy in this world, but I feel like the harder it gets, it just brings the character out of a person. And my parents were very hard on me growing up, and when things got tough, they just didn't let me give up. They didn't let me just give in, and I think that just never die attitude, and just the fact that my parents kind of instilled that in me at a young age, I just couldn't give up, no matter how hard it was. Like I said, I knew my ability, my capabilities, and I wasn't playing up to par, and I was honest with myself. I took a look in the mirror, and I said, Dominic, you have to improve. And I really, really worked on improving every facet of my game, and I don't really pay attention to the noise. I don't pay attention to players who are listed ahead of me, players who, whatever the case may be. I just don't pay attention to anything negative, because if you start listening to that, then all your work, everything that you're putting into the game, you're not going to be able to put in everything into it because you're just so caught up on negative things. So I think just my parents, I've obviously have a couple, psychologists that I talk to, and them really shaping my mindset, my outlook on life, really helped me. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what role you're on the big league roster, that's still the best job in the world. If you're coming off the bench, if you're coming out of the bullpen, if you haven't played in 2 weeks, it's still a million kids, a million adults who would kill to be in your position in your shoes. So you should never be upset. You should never pout. You should never be angry. Control what you can control, and that's what I do. and I let everything else take care of itself. And I just don't put wasted energy into stuff that I know I can't control.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Next question is from Disha Thozar.
Hey Dom, good to see you again. I know I asked you this a couple years ago, but really haven't brought it up since. You got your sleep apnea really under control, I think, in the 2019 season. I'm wondering just kind of where you're at with that now, what your routine is, and how much of a difference that's made for your overall preparation, if at all.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up. That's just the biggest thing that's helped me in my life, you know, not just baseball, just life. Back in 2017, 2016, yeah, I thought I had mental problem. I thought I had ADD. I just didn't understand what was going on with me. I didn't understand why I couldn't focus. I didn't understand why I was so tired. I didn't understand why I would just pass out at 12 midday. So the fact that I got that treated and helped out, I mean, it helps my complete life. And for me, if I don't use my machine, the team knows. They know, my teammates know. They could see it in my face. They could just see it, my body language, my energy. I'm just not the same Dom. And just with it, you know, I have more energy, I have more focus, and I could go out there and perceive the ball at 95 instead of 105.
So do you actually kind of overall attribute fixing that problem for you as to some of your improved performance over the past couple years?
Oh yeah, that's a huge part. I think it's a combination of different factors, but definitely sleep apnea was a huge part. Like I said, I thought I had ADD, but I thought that because I couldn't focus. I couldn't focus because I didn't ever get to recovery. I didn't get to REM sleep. So I'm going through my days not being able to focus in my at-bats, not being able to focus on defense, not being able to focus at all, to now I can focus. Now I could pick up spin. Now I could set up pitchers more because I can actually think. And like I said, it just could change my whole career. It's a combination of that, obviously working on my swing and doing stuff in the cage, doing stuff in the weight room, but having that focus back and be able to think out there on the field, I mean, that's what I can definitely attribute sleep apnea to. Or my sleep apnea machine, I should say, to.
Next question is from Tim Britton.
Hey Dom, good to see you. I'm wondering just what has it been like to work with Tony Tarasco, a new outfield coach so far in spring?
He's awesome. He's awesome. High energy guy, and he's gonna hold you accountable. You know, we work extremely hard out there, and he has a ton of really cool drills that keep everything fun, keep it light, but you're actually working and improving every day. I've only been around him for 2 days, but these 2 days have been amazing. I just can't wait to be around him every day all year. But the energy that he brings every day just fires you up. It makes you want to run through a wall and just gets you that much excited for the season.
What's your favorite drill that he's had with you guys so far?
I think so far, I mean, we've done a couple things. Yesterday, he was hitting some live fungos. So it was pretty fun because we were talking smack back and forth, talking about he can't hit it over our heads. And he would burn the player, which burns means hit one over the head. So he'll burn the player. And then he would be screaming from the infield, dancing and laughing. And he just keeps everything light. Even if you make a mistake, you know, it's not serious. I mean, it's serious. You know, he's going to correct you, but he's not going to yell at you. He's not going to make you feel bad. He's not going to disrespect you or treat you like a little kid. And he's going to have fun with it. And that's just something that makes you want to play harder.
Thank you.
Dom, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. See you guys soon.
Members of the media, Brandon Nimmo will be in the room